to his confidence in his old unabashed way. Listening to him, the play and her humiliation receded. The bare wire of the past touched the bare wire of the present and zapped her heart. 1979 then, 2008 now. In the park, she rested her eyes on the lampposts, snow globes turned upside down, their spotlit cascades sweeping sideways, then dashing down, then up again, then down, riding the nerve ends of every air current. Effortless, she thought. A beautiful performance for an audience of one. Despite the hour, she too was on the move. Her car was in the hotel's parking lot, her suitcase in the trunk. She wasn't driving back to Montreal. She was escaping to her lake of bays. Almont, Middleville, Hopetown. She had known these dots on the map since childhood. The two-lane road curved its way west, gradually rising into the Lanark Highlands. On either side were sloping white fields, up late and reading themselves in the dark. Nan would be awake too, waiting for her, wanting to hear how it went and what could she say. That she had muffed her lines, and it was like falling from a great height. The bottom came up so slowly to meet her. What's the line? The last one, yes, but what's the next one? Come on, what's the next line? Dry mouth, icy hands, the full-on horror of her vision going dark at the edges, as if she were about to faint. And all she had was a strange hyper-focus on not knowing what came next, and the audience's growing dismay. Line. Line! Until the prompter fed her Winnie's next words in a theater catching on fast. No more nodding off. An actor was coming apart at the seams. Afterwards, her trusty co-star Ferris jammed his woolen toque on his head and slunk out in his ratty brown jacket without saying goodnight, and it washed over her afresh, the panic and shame and letting people down. There's one thing actors have to do, she thought, and that's remember their fucking lines. At the foot of the Hopetown Hill, she turned south and climbed another hill she knew by heart, on past more fields, and what a relief to be driving mile after mile through the countryside, away from the blazing confinement of her burial mound on stage. The role of a lifetime, Winnie in Beckett's Happy Days, but the director was Richard, and they hadn't agreed on anything. Play it for laughs, he kept saying. Be funny, Lou. Just decide to be funny. You be funny, she'd said. Asshole. Oh, woe is me. That was the joke of it. Winnie, fishing for dear life in her mud puddle of a brain, for the old quotations from school. Hamlet, Milton, Keats. Desperate for anything to hang on to. Terrorized, sun-addled Winnie couldn't remember either. Alone in the spotlight, buried up to her neck yet still chirping away, the last gasps of a broken bird. Willie was there, Ferris, but she couldn't see him until he crawled into view, dressed to kill, intent on scaling her mound and getting her gun, and putting her out of her misery, no doubt. She couldn't play it for laughs, not just for laughs. It should scald the audience, take their heads off, leave them changed, floored, done in. And she thought of King Lear in London a few years ago, Cordelia and Lear at the end. How she couldn't get up from her seat after that. Not for a long while. At County Road 8, she swung right through rougher, emptier country to Watson's Corners in Dalhousie Lake, up the long hill past the baseball field to McDonald's Corners with its general store and church and scattering of houses, then windingly and more downhill than not towards Elphin, less hamlet than intersection despite its imposing church. She sensed what lay beyond her in the never-ending dark, the lonely woodlots and woodpiles, the split rail fences, the rumpled fields interrupted by encroaching cedars, the small simple houses, and every so often newer ones, suburban-looking and charmless, the sugar bushes,